This is Module 1, Lesson 11, titled Comparing Ratios Using Ratio Tables. The goal of this lesson, I compare different ratios using ratio tables. Make sure that you guys take good notes as you watch these videos, and also pause at any time, rewatch parts, or rewatch the videos as many times as necessary. Let's take a look at example 1. First part says create 4 equivalent ratios, 2 by scaling up and 2 by scaling down, using the ratio of 30 to 80. Well, I'm going to use a tool to help me figure this out. I'm going to use the ratio, or the tool equivalent ratios. Let's start by writing 30 to 80. And if I remember what an equivalent ratio is, the ratio that's equal to another one, and if we multiply both terms of the first ratio by the same amount, we should get the terms of the second ratio. So I'm going to do the one where we're scaling up. I'm going to just simply say times 2 and times 2. Oops. If I take 30 times 2, I get 60. And 80 times 2, I get 160. So 60 to 160 would be a good answer. I'll put that over here. 60 to 160. Let's find another one where we scale up. Let's multiply both those terms by the same amount. Let's keep it simple. Let's go times 3. Three times 30 is 90. 80 times 3 is 240. So 90 to 240 is also an equivalent ratio to 30 to 80. Now they tell us to scale down. And what that means is, let's come up with some smaller numbers. We've always mentioned that you can multiply both terms by the same amount, but we can also divide by the same amount. So let's think of something that we can divide out of both 30 and 80. If they both end in a 0, that means we can divide a 10 out of there. So let's divide them both by 10. 30 divided by 10 is 3, and 80 divided by 10 is 8. Therefore, 3 to 8 is also equivalent to 30 to 80. Let's do one more here. Since they end in a 0, that means we can divide them both by 5 as well. "30 divided by 5 is 6, and 80 divided by 5 would be 16. So 6 to 16 is also an equivalent ratio. Now let's go to the bottom part. It says write a ratio that describes the relationship shown in the table. We want to know what ratio do all of these ratios in the table, what are they all equivalent to? If I'm looking at that, I got 2 to 16, 5 to 40, 6 to 48, and 10 to 80. They're all equal to something. I'm going to take that first one there. I could have picked any one, but I'm going to simply take the first one and say, can I scale it down? Can I simplify it? What could I divide out of both of these? Well, in this case, I can divide a 2 out of both of these. And then I get 1 to 8. All of those ratios simplify 1 to 8. You could try it for another one. You could try 10 to 80. Here we can divide 10 out of both of these. You get 1 to 8. So our ratio that describes the relationship is 1 to 8. And if we think about what that means, is for every 1 hour, they're going to sell 8 pizzas. Or another way to think about it is they're selling 8 pizzas per hour.